My friends, today I'm going to show you how to master any song quickly in a way that's unforgettable and indispensable. This four-step method, which I've used for decades to teach tens of thousands of songs, is designed to help you learn quickly and effectively. From my YouTube tutorials to one-on-ones to virtual lessons, this is how I teach songs so rapidly. Follow these steps and you'll never again be lost. However, it's crucial to follow each of these steps in the order that I teach them here in order for this to work as effectively for you as it does for me. Here are the steps. Now, for each one of these steps, I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to give you a brief outline, but I'm also going to relate another video to it, which if you really want to go down the rabbit hole and the explanation that I give here does not suffice for you, then you can check those other videos out where I've done a more complete version of it, okay? With the exception of this very first one, because it's basically more of a concept. So number one, I've done this for myriads of bands that I've been in. I've literally been in dozens of bands over my life. The one I can recall the most recent, I'm in a band right now, but a band that I was in about 5 or 7 years ago, it was a cover band. It's all we did was cover tunes. And for the very first gig that I was going to be doing with them, I was replacing another guitar player, and they said, here are the 55 songs that we will be doing the gigs in 2 weeks. So I used this exact method to learn 55 songs in 2 weeks and knock it out of the park. So number one, the very first thing before you do this, whether you're learning one song or learning many songs, is to create a playlist. Obviously, if it's just one song, you don't need to create a playlist, but the point of this is to take this one song or this playlist. What it's going to do is, if you're listening to this all the time in the car, whenever you don't have the guitar in your hands, you should be listening to this, right? It's going to give you a 30,000 foot view of what it is that you're going to be learning, right? It's the basic, like, organic, non-musical view, if you will, of the cues, the hits, and that sort of thing. Think about Bohemian Rhapsody for just a moment. Whether you know how to play a lick of this song or not, if I put this song on, you'll know exactly when the guitar solo comes in, when the falsetto parts come in, right? The operatic part, the drum beat, you know exactly all of the bits and pieces that come in. Why? Well, because music, as I always say, music is an oral sport. We use our ears. So much of this we can actually just get in by listening to the tune, where the hits are and what have you. So many times, just trying to learn the bits and pieces about a song before actually listening to the song first is going to take so much longer because you're just not familiar with it in an organic way. Make sense? All right. So that's what you want to do to get the basic musical idea, the intro, how many verses are there, where are the hits, where's the solo, take inventory of the assets needed, if you will. So that's number one. Make sure you get that list and listen to it all the time. Number two is finding the tonic or the key of the song. The tonal center is what we're looking for here, okay? So we want to determine what the tonal center is and whether it's major or minor. 99.9% of all music has a tonal center and is in either a major or minor key. Don't just forget about the other 0.001% of the music out there. It's not music that you probably are going to want to listen to. If you do want to listen to it, just search 12-tone or atonal music and you'll find out why it's not sweeping the nation, okay? So 99.999% of all music has a tonal center. It's either major or minor. And I'm going to show you, how to do this. But basically, before I show you how to do this, I want you to think about having a world map or having a globe. And if somebody said to you, what has more information, the globe or Google Maps? Or, what's going to help you more, I should say. We know which one has more information, Google Maps, before any map that I tell you. But if someone says, if you say, hey, I'm lost, and I'm like, here's Google Maps. And you're like, okay, cool, but I don't know where I am. Okay, now think about having a local map and knowing where you're at. This is the equivalent to actually knowing what the key of the song is. Because if you think about a key, yes, there are only 12 notes in the chromatic scale. And so finding those individual notes that belong to that song might not be too difficult if you just do it by ear. But when you find out what the tonal center is, then you immediately know what the probable notes are going to be and the probable chords, because there is a structure to music. To 99.9% of all music, there is a definitive structure that abide by certain rules that if you know these rules, you're done. You got this. So what I say about this is, in finding the tonal center, you need to be a detective. And here are some of the things that you need to be a detective about. And I say detective because when a detective walks into a room and is trying to assess a crime scene, they don't just jump to a conclusion and say, I know who did it immediately. They might say that in their head, but at the end of the day, they need to go through some litmus tests in order to rule out certain people and what have you. Just make sure that they're right, okay? So here are some of the things to determine what the tonal center is of a song. Is first off, you need to know what is the first chord of the song? What is the last chord of the song? Usually the first chord and the last chord will dictate what the tonal center of the song is. This is why I say be a detective, because those are two clues actually. First chord, last chord. If it starts with a C and it ends with a C, chances are the song's in the key of C. If it starts with a C and ends with a G, now we've got a discrepancy, and just like a detective, we have some different things we need to keep asking questions, right? The last note in the chorus is oftentimes the actual key of the song. Using a scale. So, I used to do this where I'd listen to a song and I would just play through my pentatonic scale while I was listening to it, and if it didn't work, I'd move to another key, move to another key, move to another key. So using the scale, all right? Using the whole steps and half steps, if you know the major scale. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. I'm going to go over these quickly with you because most of these you're probably going to know already, and I have a video for you I'll reference in the description of this video in order for you to get more, okay? Now, you got to know what that tonal center is, and so you're going to use these bits and pieces. You can also use, the very last thing I'm going to tell you is, you can also use chord families. So if you see a G and a C and a D and an E minor, chances are that song is in the key of G, because there are some rules. Because in the key of G, there's G, C, D, and E minor. In the key of C major, there is no D major. It's a D minor, usually. Okay, so again, these are rules. Watch that video that I'm setting you up with for more details on this. So you got to know the tonal center. If you don't know the tonal center, everything else is going to be infinitely harder. You got to know your tonal center. Okay, number 3 is you've got to move the tonal center to an open key. And so what I mean by this is you either have to mentally do this or actually do this. And what do you mean by an open key? Well, what I mean is C, A, G, E, or D. So those are the open keys. Specifically, the key of C major and G major are the easiest. Why? Because those two keys are only one note away. In the key of C, we have an F, and in the key of G, we have an F sharp. And because of that, it's also going to doctor the chords a little bit. It's going to change the chords. But if you know how those chords are in those specific keys, you understand that keeping things in the key of G or the key of C makes things so much easier. So let's say the song is in the key of B minor. Well, then what I would do is I would capo here at the 2nd fret, and I would just play it as if I was in the key of A minor, at least mentally speaking, okay? I can go over more of that with you in this other video, but if you understand this concept, then cool. You have this one down. Put it in another key that's very easy because it's going to help you with bar chords. It's going to help you to understand how the chords work with each other, unlike an unfamiliar key. You can always put it back to the original key, but I promise you it's going to help heaps if you do this step. Number 4 is to know the basic chord progression, okay? If you can understand the basic construction of chords as determined by the major scale, what I call the diatonic chords, then you will be leaps and bounds beyond anybody else who's not thinking this, okay? This works for songs in a major key and a minor key. Like I said, 99.9% of all songs, be it classical, rock, blues, jazz, or otherwise, is going to fall into these categories. They have a tonal center, and they're either in a major or minor key. And so the chords in a major key go major 1, minor 2, minor 3, major 4, major 5, minor 6, and diminished 7. What do you mean by that, Eric? I've never heard this before. I know a lot of people don't talk about it, but this is literally a hidden structure inside of music. This works for the minor key as well, because the 6 in a major key is the tonal center for minor. So if you just make that the tonal center, and if it's a song in a minor key, then make the 6th the tonal center, and you'll find that all those chords that I just mentioned to you will line up perfectly with this 99% of the time. Now, I know some of this, like what I'm telling you right now, if this is the first time you've ever heard this, is kind of going over your head a little bit. So this is why I'm giving you more information to delve into with each one of these subjects, is because if you don't understand this about the construction of the chords, you're not going to be able to easily do this. However, I'm telling you, these 4 steps are absolutely game changers for determining how to decipher and break apart a song and understand what's going on there very, very quickly. And that's why I'm giving you these extra videos so you can really delve down the rabbit hole with these. In addition to that, I have courses that actually bring you all the way with these, that will truly help your understanding with these. So follow that thread, pull that thread, and I promise you, you're going to see some maximum results with doing this. My friends, if you need more help with simplifying songs, please take advantage of the very first link below. It's my gift to you. It's to a course called Song Playing Simplified, and it goes over some of these concepts to simplify any songs that you might be playing. There are definitely easier ways to do things. I'm going to show you how to do that. I learned the hard way. Here's the easy way I'm showing you. So friends, if I missed anything here, please leave those comments below. Thumbs up, subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.